Hey everybody. Okay, so we are live again, and we're going to continue with our whole series on divorce. And it seems what happened here? I don't know what's happening to our connection. Okay, let's try again. We're talking about divorce, and it covers every single topic there is in our relationship. And one of those topics is our identity. So what happens to us when we go through any sort of crisis, not just divorce, but I mean, if you lose your home, or to disaster, or some other crisis, your job, and something has to change in your life, and all of a sudden your routine is changed and you don't know who you are anymore. We're so used to routine. It's like, this is our partner, this is our job, this is how much we make, and this is our schedule, and our dinner time, and these are our friends. Everything is just set, and that's that hamster wheel that we're always talking about. So as soon as, well, let me back up, because we get tired of that hamster wheel, and sometimes we sit there and wonder what's on the other side. Is this all there is? Around and around and around. And year after year of being in this relationship, it's like you know who you are, but you don't like it. Why? Because you've taken on the titles. You've taken on the titles of, let's say, wife, mother, in-law, friend, neighbor, employee, boss. All those things are fine. But who am I really? Did I choose any of this? Or did I just follow the system? Did I just go to school, get my degree, and just keep going with the herd? And it's like, well, this is what I went to school for, this is who I am, this is who I married, and that's it. Is that all that life has to offer? Well, no. So let's go back to the identity crisis. What happens when you reach the end? And now you're thinking to yourself, who am I? Well, remove all the titles. You're the same person you were before you started. And the good news is, you get to recreate. And that's where a lot of us forget. And we get caught up in the cycle of sadness. It's all boo-hoo me, and why did this have to happen to me, and why did they treat me this way, and what am I going to do now, and all this other stuff. But let's look at the positive side. And that is, I get to recreate me. As a woman, it's the most beautiful thing. I can speak for myself, who I became, who I wanted to become, how I want to be. I raised my standards. Standards are something that a lot of people struggle with. They don't really have them. They're just moving along with the herd. So right now, when you're in the middle of this crisis, look at the bright side. You get to raise your standards. Now, that being said, I can speak for women, and I'll speak for men later too, but for women, going out into the dating scene again, you're hoping to find your prince. You're hoping to find a man who will comfort you, champion you, support you, love you, treat you like a queen. That's what you're looking for. That's really hard to find. And men, you're looking for a woman who's worth it all. And that's where the problem begins. See, that's where the problem begins in the beginning. It's like, sure, we're willing to fall in love, and we come together, and we make this commitment, but if we didn't have a standard for ourselves when we started, where did you think it was going? See, you want the fairy tale. In order to have the fairy tale, you got to be the fairy tale. So women, you got to be your best self. You want to be sexy. You want to be happy. You want to be loving. You want to be articulate. You want to be comforting. You don't want to always be mothering. Men don't like that. You got to have a zest for life. But how do you do that? Well, the only way you do that is if you find out what you like and you spend some time alone with you. And men, I got to tell you this, you lead the way. And as hard as it is, fact remains that you are a man. And as a man, women and children look to you for leadership. So raise your standards. I tell you, as a single woman, the last thing women want is for a guy to come on to her and the first thing he's talking about is sex. See, he has no standards. And he automatically assumes she doesn't either. So it's a real playful interaction. It's not. It's not honorable, it's not respectable, and it's definitely not what a woman with standards is looking for. So men out there might be thinking, well, where's that woman, Merrilee? All right, well, somebody has to start, don't you think? When you raise your standards, you're going to see who's up there with you. And that's when life becomes absolutely beautiful. So now that your relationship is facing the end, and you're going to be on your own again, this is the time for you to create yourself again. Raise your standards. It doesn't matter if most of the women that you meet are not worthy of a prince. Never let somebody else's behavior affect your own. You still need to be the prince. Just like a king has to be a king. And women, you gotta be the needle in the haystack. Raise your standards. Be the best you. Take care of yourself. And be loving. Change your vocabulary. You know, why don't we talk to each other with love and affection and adore each other? Why don't we touch each other more? Really look into each other's eyes and respect each other. You know, there's so much to that we don't do. We just hang out together. That's not a life that you want. That just hanging out and unacceptable behavior, really, that's going to lead you to the end again. And that's what most women and men are experiencing. After a long-term relationship, you come out the other end and you're waiting to find your prince or princess, and then you date and break up. You date and you break up because you're always disappointed by what you find out there. Men aren't treating women with respect at all. Men don't want their heart broken. And women, they give way too much in the beginning in hopes to fall in love, or the man will fall in love with them. It's not how it works. You see, a woman needs to raise her standards first. Let a man know her value. You need to love yourself enough to enjoy this life that you have. Educate yourself. Have fun. Enjoy nature. Enjoy everybody. Stop looking at every single man like a suitor. You have to look at everybody like you're my friend. So men, stop coming on to women with disrespect, with arrogance, with some idea that that woman is already going to be attracted to you. It doesn't work that way. You need to be attractive. And in order to be attractive, women are looking for that king or a prince, somebody who opens the door for her, opens the car door for her, calls her sweet names, says, I love you, does sweet things for her. And women, we have to do the same for men. Recreate your identity. See, if you don't feel that you're very loving and you don't want to use all those words and you don't want to take the time to take care of you and to look your best or to be your best or to be friendly and to be generous and forgiving, well then, what do you think you're going to find out there? Recreate who you are. This is the time to raise your standards and say, okay, I'm going to rebuild my character. I don't care about everybody else. I don't care whether or not they're worth it or not worth it. I care about me. So this is how I'm going to be, like royalty. And sooner or later, you're going to attract the right man and the right woman. And when you do, that person is going to treat you with the utmost respect, and they will never, ever, ever jeopardize the relationship because you both are putting in all the time. That's what we all want. We don't want complacency. Nobody just wants a job. That's where the old ball and chain comes from. And that's why we're all getting a divorce, because you stop trying. everybody's looking to the other person saying, you don't try anymore. You don't call me all loving names. You don't bring me flowers. You don't open my door. All you do is sit there and have a beer. You don't even pay attention to me. We don't talk. You don't listen to me. And he's saying, well, you don't like the game, and you're always nagging at me, and you're always telling me what to do, and it's never good enough. Complain, complain, complain. You have to stop doing that. Stop acting like royalty. It's what you really are. Get out of the cesspool of the average Joe. Raise your standards. Be beautiful. Be sexy. Be happy. Giving, loving, caring, gentle, and speak with love. Use the words that attract people. That's what the law of attraction is. And you know what? When you don't see the person who's mirroring your actions or your standards, you're going to avoid them. It's that simple. So you don't have to keep worrying. I don't know what this guy's doing. I mean, he doesn't call me, and then he calls me, and then, I think he's with somebody else, and blah, blah. Those are games. You're not a game player. Raise your standards, and pretty soon other people will understand who you are, and your life is going to be beautiful. So that's what I'm talking about. Recreating your identity. Never mind, you went through the pain, or you're going through the pain of the divorce, but you're going through the pain because both got complacent. If it's too late for a repair, you're going to have to be like the phoenix, and you're going to come back better. But only if you become the watcher of yourself. Look how you're talking. Look how you're judging. Look how your face is when you're looking at other people. Or do you not give eye contact? Do you give compliments? Is it easy for you, or do you hold back? Is it hard because you're thinking, well, if I give them a compliment, they're going to think that they're better than me? All of those insecurities have to be tossed out the window. Become your best self. Tell people how beautiful they are. Deposit something to their life. Be a lover. Be a lover. Create your identity. Be the king and queen that you're meant to be. It's for all of us, not for some of us. And you will reap the rewards big time. So, for now, I love you all, and I want to hear your stories. I want to hear you recreate and how happy you're going to be. Follow what I say, and you too will find yourself happy. All right, guys, next time.